You likely know that the president, Donald J. Trump, is suing CBS and Paramount for something like $20 billion over election interference, and that it is existential to the company. You may know that it could interfere with their merger with Skydance. Now, the attorneys for CBS and Paramount are declaring that all of this is nonsense, but President Trump has tipped his hand, has shown his cards, and now we know what's coming. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to break down the truth and give it to you in the dose you need. Happy Hump Day, folks. Happy Wednesday. Boy, oh boy, it's good to be here, and it's good to not be Disney with Ironheart, isn't it? By the way, we'll be covering Ironheart later today. That is the dumpster fire of all dumpster fires for Marvel. But guess what? Right now, we're going to cover CBS and Paramount. Join us, though, later today, 12:30 p.m. Eastern and then 3:30 p.m. Eastern. We would love to have you. Pro show coming up tonight, by the way. Click the like button, and here we go. This is out of Deadline, and it came from several days ago. This went largely unnoticed by anybody, by everybody, except for Ted Johnson, who is on it. And I'm going to show you that the Trumpster basically gave away what's going on. Now, as we get into this, I got to say, I'm going to bring on the panel in just a minute. We've got a panel we're going to bring on to talk about CBS and Paramount are now saying that this whole thing that they've already offered a $15 million settlement for, and who knows what else came along with that it's nonsense, that it breaks the First Amendment, it's unconstitutional. Yet they offered a $15 million settlement for it, and who knows what else, right? Okay. Folks, I've got some news for you. Before we get into that with the panel, just take a look at this. Donald Trump appears to praise David Ellison amid pending Skydance Paramount merger approval, settlement talks, and 60 Minutes lawsuit. You got to see this, okay? It says Donald Trump appeared to praise David Ellison. Who is David Ellison? Well, he's the son of Larry Ellison, one of the richest men on the planet, the CEO of Skydance Media, that's David, as it seeks the administration's approval on a merger with Paramount Global. The government has to approve the merger with Paramount Global. Trump is suing Paramount over election interference because of CBS News. And here's what Trump said. This is the full-blown giveaway, folks. I'm so glad you clicked on this video because you're going to know something that most people don't know. So you can share this with them now. You can send this out to them. You can say, here's what's going down. Trump told reporters on Wednesday, Ellison, talking about David Ellison, is great. He'll do a great job with it. Now, what is Trump talking about there? He's talking about Skydance buying Paramount. He's talking about the Ellisons are going to do a great job when that happens. The only way that happens is if the settlement happens. And the settlement has to happen this month for it to go down. And not only that, the FCC has to relinquish its hold. So, folks, may I be so bold then to say, this thing's a done deal. We're going to get into now why, if it's a done deal, if secretly behind the scenes it's over, it's completely over. The president has won again against the legacy media. There will be a settlement with CBS. It will be substantial. It will be more than they offered originally, and it may come with lots of additional stuff, add-ons to maybe have people leave CBS News and some other stuff. And you can all say, people will have their opinions about it, right? Some people will say that's great. Some people will say, this blurs the line of constitutionality. Some will say, this is a breach of the First Amendment. Listen, folks, you can have your opinions on that. This is not the channel for that. I'm just here to tell you, he's going to win. It's over. He's tipped his hat. He's shown his cards. They know it. He is bragging about what a good job the future owners of Paramount will do. And the only way that there will be future owners is if this is already done. All right, I want to bring on the panel now. We're going to dive into why, if that's the case, why are the CBS attorneys acting completely differently? Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, out of Variety from Todd Spangler, CBS reiterates claim that Trump's 60 Minutes lawsuit is meritless, refutes president's assertion edited interview was commercial speech. Now, we have been saying that any day now we anticipate that there's going to be a settlement. And by the way things are going in the Middle East, I think it's actually more likely now than not that we'll get a settlement. So what the heck is going on with CBS and Paramount? Now, they need to get a deal struck with Trump in order to get the FCC off their back and to make sure that Skydance finishes the purchase of them. They also, we believe, need to get this completed by July 6th. And the reason for that is because they already had an extension to the contract where Skydance wants to buy them, but Skydance doesn't want to buy CBS and Paramount, who need to be bought, by the way. They don't want to buy them so long as there's a $20 billion lawsuit from Trump hanging over their necks like a millstone. It says, even as lawyers for Paramount Global and President Trump are in discussions about a potential settlement in his lawsuit over the editing of 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris, Paramount and CBS filed a response reaffirming their position that the interview is protected by the First Amendment and that Trump's legal team has failed to provide any evidence to the contrary. Quote, this is a meritless lawsuit that, as plaintiff's opposition admits, takes aim at a news organization for editorial decisions plaintiffs dislike. Unquote. Paramount and CBS said in a filing Monday in reply to Trump's motion to deny CBS's request to dismiss the lawsuit. All right, I'm going to come back to this and explain it in just a moment. Hang tight, folks. Trump filed a lawsuit against CBS just days before the 2024 presidential election, alleging the 60 Minutes interview with Harris violated a Texas consumer protection law by misleading voters and caused Trump personal financial harm. In an amended complaint, Trump added Representative Ronnie Jackson of Texas as a co-plaintiff and doubled the claims to a demand of $20 billion in damages. Now, there are going to be those who come out and say, well, looks like Pro is wrong. Looks like all of this has been for naught. Looks like they're going to go to court over this. They're going to battle it out. And I say, no, I highly doubt that. So Lou is laughing, and I know why. I want to explain it, though, folks. Here's what I believe is going down. There is currently a lawsuit. There is an effort to mediate and get a settlement to that lawsuit, but the lawsuit is still ongoing. And until they reach that settlement, the attorneys don't just get to say, well, we're going to stop being attorneys now, and we're going to stop defending our client now.
And stop charging billable hours now.
Right. So if you think that while the lawsuit is happening and the settlement is underway, they're trying to get to that settlement point, if you think that suddenly the attorneys for CBS are just going to roll over and say, you know, actually, we agree. They do have merit. They should sue us. We did do these things. Like, they're not going to come out and say that. So, of course, the attorneys are going to say, as strongly as they possibly can, there's no merit. While behind the scenes, with the mediator and Trump's attorneys, they're talking about the numbers already. They're trying to figure out what the number is going to be. And here's the bottom line. We'll go to Lou, because Lou, you have such expertise in this area. Wow. They have until... You can play it, you know, you can say, well, you're off a day or give a day or whatever. They got till early July. If they don't get this thing done by early July, then either Skydance gives them another extension or Skydance walks. And if Skydance walks, then Paramount and CBS are sitting out there all by themselves, damaged greatly, with $20 billion lawsuit hanging over them that they got to pay all these legal bills for. And they've got a CBS News division that is determined to destroy everybody in the organization. Lou, this is, I mean, it's getting settled. It's just got to get settled.
It has to get
settled. It has to.
There's too much money involved if they don't. That's all. There's a lot of money involved if they do. But if you are the lawyers for Shari Redstone and you're trying to decide...
real quick, Lou, tell the folks out there, who is Shari Redstone?
She owns the company.
Paramount.
Yes.
She wants to sell to Skydance,
and she
owned by the Ellison family.
Right. Which is, as we know, Larry Ellison's, his son or his brother? Anyway, it's those guys. She wants to get out. And CBS is, in the grand scheme of things, a relatively minor piece of the puzzle, except for this lawsuit, which is, as they say in Trump land, huge. So this is going to get settled because it has to, because the deal has to go through. Look, they have two choices. They can settle it or and incur the wrath of Scott Pelley.
Right, and that's one of the guys over there at 60 Minutes who has just gone after viciously the corporation that pays his paychecks.
And frankly, if everybody who worked for CBS News as a show of solidarity, if it gets settled, decided to quit tomorrow, they would say, God, we don't have to pay any of those people anymore. That's a good thing.
Right. Yet, I want to go to Lauren to ask this. Lauren, yet Variety, which is a Hollywood trade, and Variety is probably not on Team Trump, right? Not trying to say they're political. They probably are, but they're definitely not on Team Trump. Lou, is that fair?
Yeah, but they're also on team. We'd like Paramount to still exist when this is all over because it gives us more studios and more business and more people. And so maybe we shouldn't go too far towards the CBS people because we might want to be friends with the skydance people someday. You know?
Well, let's just say that Variety with Todd Spangler here. I don't want to be too. I don't be too critical of what they're doing because, we write articles on That Park Place and sometimes we need a little grace. I'm just going to say this is a very clickable headline that I think needs a bit more explanation, that it is still tremendously likely that within days, Paramount settles with Trump. I don't think that's in the article. I think it needs to be there because otherwise I think you have this distorted reality. And I'll say this, it's not a given. Paramount may screw the pooch here. And if they don't settle, then look out. And their shareholders are going to be furious. Lauren, what do you think about this? Is this just assuming that readers don't understand how the sausage is made, maybe?
Well, I think you guys covered all of the salient points. I think you're right that it's a title that will get clicks. It's likely that they're going to settle. Their lawyers can't just roll over. I think all of that is true. I'm not too terribly fussed about this article because I think that it's clickbait. That's what it is.
And that's how the audience has changed for trade publications like Variety and Hollywood Reporter and the rest of them. It used to be strictly an inside baseball newspaper. Not anymore. Not in our world.
Because people like us are actually watching it and then translating it to the audience.
Yeah.
Well, we've become the arbiters of this. We weed out what's wacky and weird and strange and false and untrue, and then we give it to you folks as you need it, because that's what we do. That's the job. The job is analyze entertainment, because entertainment is that which people want to focus in on. It's that which you talk about at the water cooler. It's that which you dream about. You want to go on a vacay, you think about where's the vacay going to be? What's the movie going to be? Where do I, what theme park do I want to go to, et cetera, et cetera. What TV show are we going to watch? What are we going to talk about? Entertainment actually matters. It's surprising, but it does. Way beyond what most people give to it. Now, Vash, you had a gentleman on the screen just a minute ago at the, I think it was Wake Forest. Yeah, but who is this guy, Vash? Because he came up earlier in the conversation, but some people might not know.
Scott Pelley, a longtime reporter for CBS News and host of 60 Minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
And is he happy with CBS and Paramount in this video where he's reaching up to the sky? He's gone full Caesar.
He's doing his Billy Graham impression,
Well, without any hope, I would say.
No. But still, I mean, God, the body language of this thing, he's quivering. And look at how excited all the people behind him are.
Oh yeah, the lady in the sunglasses. She's having a dandy of a day.
Especially that guy with the sunglasses there. Yeah, you just have a bunch of people within this organization, that being CBS News, Paramount, trying to scuttle this thing, but it's not going to happen. And I do agree with your assessment. I think they have to settle. I think they have to move on here. Again, there are larger things at stake than just CBS News or maybe some, I don't know, tangential connection to freedom of speech or whatever. It's, so many jobs are on the line. If Paramount can't get this deal done with Skydance, this thing can't be scuttled by a couple of activists, let's say, within this organization.
That's right. All right, folks, now you know what's really going on. Now you know that despite the headline, despite what they're saying out there, yes, the settlement is still, let's say, 90% likely to happen. There's a 10% chance they really screw up. And if that happens, if the 10% comes true, the legacy media is going to crow like roosters that suddenly found the hen house they've been dreaming of. They're going to crow that, we're taking it to him. We're going to fight this thing in court. But you'll know that it's a major mess up. with billions and billions and billions of dollars going out the door if that happens. And they don't want that. They don't want that for a second.
One more thing. This isn't about what happened in the last election. This is about the next election. Do you think whether it's 30 or 35 or $25 million that gets settled makes a difference in what Trump has for breakfast the next day? Do you think it matters? It doesn't matter. They're dragging it out on purpose to send a message to everybody else saying, don't you pull this re-edited crap in the midterms.
Well said.
Because otherwise they would.
And Lou, let me say this. Vash has the perfect video up right now. Vash, pause it for a minute. You talked about the next election. In all likelihood, one of those three guys standing behind Trump is going to be in the next election.
Oh, in all likelihood. Presidential, but meanwhile, we've got the midterms to handle Congress, which is on a knife edge.
That's right.
So, yeah.
And with the recent foreign policy issues aside, I think Pro made a good point at the start of this video that now that domestic agenda and especially these issues can be reprioritized. Let's say.
Right. And hanging in the balance, a giant entertainment company that wants to be bought by a giant entertainment company. Other entertainment YouTube channels might fear going anywhere near this topic, but folks, we do it every day with, half. I'm not going to steal that line. I can't say with half our brains tied behind our back. I can't do that. I can't say that line. But, with talent on loan from Walt. All right, we did it. All right, Vash. It's always sad when one of these video ends, and yet it is the beginning of the wait for the next one to land. 4 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. And by the way, there's plenty more on our partner channels. That Part Place, That Pod Place, That Game Place. And go check out the original music we have on stations like Vacation Radio. We'd love to have you, love to entertain you. At least we'll do a better job than some of the current entertainment companies. Folks, like, share, subscribe, and you know what? Drop a comment right on down below. Share this out anywhere you go on social media. And until the next time, we have the honor, the pleasure of getting to spend time with you when you choose to invite us into your day to add the value that we hope to bring your way. We ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Jump into the water! Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.